You are doing so well. It's been months, maybe years since you've been on diet. Maybe it's been only a few days, but the always constant thought at the back of your mind, what if I will go on one more diet, lose some weight, and then I will start my full freedom? What if I will just do this 10-a-day cleanse, or I will try this one more time and maybe it will finally work and I will have my peace with food after I'm done with dieting? These thoughts are absolutely normal. And the thing is that the longer you have been dieted in your life, the more prevalent these thoughts will be. Every single day when we wake up in the morning, we face the truth. We have to look in the mirror. We have to see the way our body looks, and you can make choices. You can make choices to go on with your day and love yourself the way you are, or feel tempted to change who you are and how you feel. And the thing is that this is absolutely normal and it's happening to every single person out there. Because if you would not be affected by the diet culture out there, you probably have to live somewhere in the wild forest and don't even be on the internet. So how can you resist the temptation on going back on a diet one more time or again and again and again? Well, the thing is that we need to look at what a dieting brings us into our life. And the fact is that dieting is actually really exciting and brings the order into our chaos. Every single diet brings you the sense of belonging, a sense of solidarity with someone else, a sense of friendshipness and a connection to other people who are on the same diet, to other people who are on this beautiful journey, and you feel not alone. Because I'm not going to lie to you, food freedom journey, if you are coming on this journey on your own, can feel pretty lonely and pretty hard. So that's why I always recommend to seek for support, seek for someone who you can walk this journey with, but more importantly, someone who can share your thoughts and someone who can help you to ease your dieting thoughts. So what a dieting brings us? Dieting brings us excitement. It brings us that hint of adrenaline to our life, but it also brings us order. We know exactly what to eat, we know exactly when to eat, and we know when we cross the line. But when at food freedom, it might be pretty hard because you are allowed to eat anything you like, anytime you want, in any order, in any amount, in any time of the day. So if you don't even know where to start with food freedom, this feels really, really chaotic and really daunting. And even though if you are well into your food freedom journey, it can still feel very overwhelming from time to time. So here is the one thing, remember. We can find an order, we can find intentions behind food freedom as well. And if you're feeling chaotic, if you're feeling overwhelmed with what you can eat, there is always one way to look at these things. You can have anything you want in your life. You can have anything, any food, and anything you wish. But what it is that is going to make you feel better right now, right at this moment. So if you have a dieting thoughts, it's probably because you are stressed out, because you might feel bloated after having a full-on weekend of indulging in food, or being on a holiday where it's just trying new foods, chaotic, or you put on a pants that you haven't in a long time and they don't fit. So how can you look at this without diving back into a diet things and actually make yourself feel better? What it is that you can bring, what you can do that you can do intentionally to make yourself feel better right now, right at this moment, and improve your well-being without restricting food. There's nothing wrong with intentional. In fact, intuitive eating has to be very intentional at the beginning. It's a learned thing that we unlearned in a past that was once innate to us. But now we have to learn to live in and eat intuitively again. So we have to put intentions in there. So how you are doing it? You can first look at what you need right now. Are you hungry? Are you feeling that you've been eating too much and in the back of your mind, there is a thought of that you need to cut out? Ask yourself how does that gonna make you feel if you're gonna restrict on food and look for evidence in the past? How did you feel when you got on a diet and when the diet didn't work out? How did you feel when you were hungry, but you were not allowed to eat because it wasn't your eating window yet, or because you already had too many calories or too many points on that day? How did you feel if you had to miss on a beautiful cake or just your grandma's famous potato salad because you were on this low carb diet? And I want you to ask yourself, where did all this dieting has led me in the past? Where you are right now? You wouldn't be here if the dieting would have worked in the past. This is the hard truth. But I know that you want to have that sense of control, sense of well-being, sense of that you actually feel better in your body. So how can you put intentions into choosing a better meal, choosing a food that actually serves to your body, or a way to move yourself when a life is chaotic and the only thing you want to do is just start all over again and put a big fat line behind the past? How can you do it without restricting? Can the next meal be not just healthy, not just filling, but also satisfying? Can you maybe make yourself a big salad? If you feel bloated, if you feel yucky, can you make yourself a big salad with a lot of fillings, but ask yourself, will this satisfy me? Will that actually fill my needs? Can you maybe have a cheese toastie on the side, or put some croutons in your salad, or make some roast veggies on the side and sprinkle some mayo over it, or something that's going to actually bring you pleasure and bring you satisfaction? Because if you would just go and eat that salad, unless that's really what you are feeling like, and that's really what makes you feel good, and that's exactly what you need. If you are hungry and you will only eat that salad, you will be left feeling unsatisfied. And that will only lead you into more food later that you are not in control of, because you will feel this horrible, crazy hunger that is driving you towards all the high calorie dense food, because that's how our body's been wired and made to work. So therefore, think about one thing. How can you feel better right now? How can you make your body feel better when the life is chaotic and when you're feeling that the only thing to do something good about yourself is to go on a diet? What would happen if you would not be able to sustain everything that you're just wishing to do? If you're thinking, am I going to go and exercise every single day because that I know it's going to make me feel better? Would you feel guilty? Would you feel ashamed? Would you feel bad for not sustaining your goal? Or would you feel okay with that, and knowing that you didn't have time in the day, or you were sick, or there was something else going on and you simply couldn't, or you chose not to because you were too tired? Would you be okay with that? Would you be also okay with searching a new type of movement that actually brings you joy, that actually brings you momentum into your life, into your day, that makes you feel better? Can you find 5 minutes of just stretching around that table you are sitting all day? Can you maybe catch up with a friend and go for a walk? Can you try the new Zumba class or the new salsa dancing class, something you've always wanted to do? But can you also prioritize yourself and prioritize your well-being? And if you don't have time to cook, that's okay. Seek for things that are accessible to you, that are convenient, that are there, that are easy for you to grab, and ask yourself, how does that make me feel right now? If you're going to be eating 5 snack bars or granola bars a day, I don't think so you will feel good about it. Maybe you want to grab an apple, maybe you want to grab a banana, maybe you want to grab a piece of carrot and some hummus, or maybe you just want to make yourself a cheese toastie, and that's okay. But if you will have and being tempted by going back on a diet, I want you to know that this is absolutely okay. And that's the adrenaline. That's that starting new. So how can we change that into food freedom? Think about a diet the same way as a food freedom. It's a new beginning. So can you start today by paying attention to how you feel? Can you start today with high intentions to fulfilling and to responding to your hunger cues and to your needs? Can you today drink more water if you feel dehydrated, or if you feel thirsty, or if you have headache? Can you start from today moving your body the way it feels good, but can you today leave the guilt and shame and feeling bad for not doing any of that because you simply didn't have time? But can you also find the easiest way? How can you make yourself feel better? If you haven't had time to eat all day, make the effort and make some nice dinner that is going to be filling, fulfilling, satisfying, and pleasurable. Can you tomorrow make yourself a nice, beautiful breakfast before you will have your coffee? We need to put some intentions. We need to be intentional with our health before it will become intuitive and it will become automatic to us. But at the beginning of the journey, for some, it takes a year, 2, 3, 5 years to actually become that intuitive eater you were once born. It only depends how much damage the dieting has done to you. But remember, the diet that you've been on before and the diet before that and the diet before that has never led you where you wanted to be. Otherwise, you would not be here today.